Information management cycle. Information management is the monitoring communication plan based on the information needs of the different users. It helps us identify the frequency of the data and reporting units. It helps us tailor the reporting formats to the intended audience, and help us identify the appropriate outlets or media channels for communicating the monitoring results. The information management cycle is a 9-step process of defining, locating, selecting, collecting, organizing, analyzing, reporting, using, and evaluating information. It is a cycle that happens many times during the life of the project. It's not something that happens once, but it is that in every cycle we find opportunities to improve it, to make changes, and to make it more efficient. Let's look at the first step, define. That is what we begin in the project by identifying the information that we need. That need may come from the donor, from key stakeholders, even from the project. But we end up with a list of all the information that we need. Then we need to find out where is this information. So the location information is also important because it helps us identify the cost and the effort and the logistics to get that information. Once we know what information it is, we need to be more selective about it, making sure that information is relevant, accurate, and credible. So that selecting the information is an important process of quality, looking at the information that we have available. So once we define that, we go to the next step, which is collecting it, and how we're going to get the information we need. So collecting has a direct impact on the cost and the logistics of information management, because we need to identify the resources needed to collect information, the effort and the cost of doing that. Once we complete that, we need to find how we're going to organize and store all that information we're collecting, so that the information can be easily accessible to the people who need it for the purposes they need it. Once we do that, then the next step is, what is the information telling us? We need to analyze that information. So when we analyze the information, we're going to start looking at trends. We're going to look at changes that is going to tell us what is happening in the project. And out of that, we develop our report that helps us also understand the needs of analysis for information. Who needs it? So we got all these reports, we got all this analysis done, and we need to send it to the people who are going to be using it to make decisions about the project. So we have this group of users, and they're going to be making decisions made with that information. And one of the key users of information is the project itself. The project manager and the project team are looking at information and making use of that information. When we share the report to the donors, to management, to key stakeholders, even beneficiaries, they are using the information. And once we are in that cycle, we look at the final step and we evaluate how we can improve it. So then the next time we go into collecting information, analyzing, reporting, what are the opportunities that we need to make changes? One of those areas is that, are we using all the information? Is all the information that we're collecting being used? Then we need to look at our definitions, so they can also have an impact on the collection, and that can also benefit in terms of the time and the cost to look and analyze information. Or is some information that is missing that was not part of the original definition, that now we have to go and collect it and analyze it, report it in the next cycle. So every time we go to this cycle, we have to find an opportunity to see how we can improve it. Eventually, the cycle is a continuous process. It goes through the life of the project. So in every cycle, you go to those elements and you look at it. You see how we can improve it. How can I make it easier? Is there something that we need to make changes? Do we need more or less technology to use it? Do we need more or less skills in the people who are in charge of the different elements of the process? And once we do that, we start building a very comprehensive process that helps us get the right information to the right people at the right time.